Paint Night Podcast is about getting to know the artist behind the painting. Our mission is to provide a platform where artists come together to create art and share their stories. Thank you for joining us and supporting the arts. And we are live.
Hello.
Toby, Justin over there. I'm checking the computer. The live stream itself to make sure everything looks good. Looks pretty good. So that's what it looks like.
Cool.
Alright. Cool. I am going to lower the camera up here so you can see a little bit more of yours.
Why are we streaming?
Huh? Well, because you lowered it a little. Just now.
Oh. Still maybe the paint in the same spot.
Boop. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Paint Night Podcast.
Welcome. And I am back off my road trip. Not that I wanted to be, because of weather.
Weather. It's getting snowy down here, yo.
You mean up here?
That's right.
I had to leave Iowa early in order to beat the storm back here, and at the same time I was cut off from Arizona, so I couldn't go down that way. So this was the best chance without dying.
No deaths today.
Well, no deaths. I don't know about today.
Well,
I didn't die Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So there's that.
Pretty good? Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
Pretty sure most people think that's an okay thing.
Like God.
I don't think God cares one way or the other.
That's true.
He's like, whatever. He's like, if you're
Such
dumb
is
enough
life.
to drive through the fucking snow and ice
This is on
or
you.
the blizzard in a Hellcat, I mean, you get what you get.
It's like, I gave you technology to be aware of it.
Alright. Heed warnings, but such is life. You make decisions. You roll with them.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like I've been trying to figure out this balance of being fearful of everything or believing in everything.
Never be fearful at all.
Well, no, fair. I mean, like, not be fearful of everything. I didn't mean that like that. I meant, like, be cautious, be more cautious instead of less fearful of everything. Does that make sense?
To be aware?
Is that basically all that?
Yeah, I mean, be aware and read signs of what's around you.
Yeah.
But don't be fearful. If you take anything in fear, then you act out of fear. Fear is the opposite of love.
Right, but they're both, like, within us. So it's like, it's gonna happen. So it's like, how do we maintain that fear?
I don't understand that question. Because, like, you're talking on making decisions, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't act out of fear.
Definitely not.
You act out of love.
Probably just acknowledging the fear and then acting with love instead.
Well, on a base level, fear is there to protect you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But if you act out of fear, then you act rashly and do not wise things, right?
Right.
But if you act out of love, so, like, the storm is coming, right?
Mm-hmm. Winter is coming.
Got notification that there's storms, blizzards, whatever could be happening, and I had a choice to make. Not getting paint on myself. Now, I could have acted out of fear and stayed still and got possibly snowed in, or tried to go out west and beat the storm that way, but I would have probably been cut off by like the storm rolling through because it was moving down. It wasn't moving across.
Okay.
So like I couldn't have beat it. Like it was a day drive to Phoenix where I was going from Davenport, or 8 hours to Ohio.
Yeah.
Now if I would have acted out of fear, I would have just been like, shit, I gotta go, and or hubris or whatever, and ran to Phoenix to keep my
appointments and stuff.
all that stuff, out of fear of losing money or fear of this or that, or stayed and not losing money and still been stuck.
Yeah.
Or, which I did, I acted out of love as far as like care for myself, my own safety. What was the better choice? I canceled an appointment to get tattooed. I canceled a really big fun piece that I wanted to start. I was supposed to be starting tomorrow. It was just like, yeah, but it was all out of like my own safety, and I didn't want anybody to be driving in if it was that kind of situation or condition. I didn't want anybody driving in it.
So like you wouldn't want someone else to do it, so therefore you're like, if I were someone else advising someone else, then I would tell them this.
Exactly.
So you should treat yourself exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's a hard lesson for people to learn, because most people are like, or not most people, but a certain kind of people, I know they like sacrifice a lot of themselves.
Yep.
For others, but it's like, what would you do for others?
Right.
Do that for yourself.
Exactly. And I mean, there were a lot of signs that kind of like crept up and hit me, and I was like, fuck, I have to make this decision. I have to make it now.
No.
Like, in order to be safe and all that stuff, I had to do it quickly, and I did it with the best intentions. It wasn't out of like, oh shit, I might die, whatever. But it was that was my decision, so I stand by it. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But whatever.
Well, I'm glad you're here, because now we get to do paint night together. Even though this is super late, that's our bad. Actually, the night that Toby came back, that's exactly when we were supposed to do our Wednesday paint night podcast. That's exactly why this has been pushed.
That's why I didn't. Yeah, and I was gonna stay and do paint night, and I was like, I'm not going to stay and unpack painting stuff and then paint and then maybe miss my window.
Yeah, it wasn't that we forgot or anything. In fact, Toby called me right beforehand. I agreed with him on that. Yeah,
and I didn't.
Because that is way more important.
I didn't make a post because I was driving.
And we're forgetful people.
Well, not so much. It wasn't forgetful. It was just I didn't want to be texting and making posts and responding to stuff while I was driving. Because I actually drove through like misty rain misty freezing rain and light snow the entire night. So
light snow?
Yeah.
Oh, lights. Okay.
Like flurries, but it was sticking to the road nonetheless. So it was enough where all my attention was focused on the road. After tattooing my friend Eva all day.
We have a funny gift we're gonna post up soon.
What's that?
Those pictures she took of you eating a banana.
Yeah, that was after we got done tattooing. I was like, fuck, I didn't eat today. I should probably eat before I hit the road. But I want to again say thanks for everybody that understood that I didn't want to be stuck away from home or stuck in between two destinations, and allowed me to reschedule appointments. Nothing is canceled, just rescheduled.
Mm-hmm.
And what good would I be to anybody if I was dead? Not gonna get your deposits back.
Or any artwork.
Yeah, so
we don't want that.
Most days.
Oh goodness. I swear, wizard.
Yeah. But that was the excitement. My trip was ended just as quickly as it began.
Woo! Sometimes that's life.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. You just gotta roll with the punches.
That is correct.
Not get angry. Just figure out solutions.
Well, yeah. Again, it was a lesson in have no control over the situation or the weather. You just have to act accordingly. At least I got to tattoo Eva and Amanda. I started the burning church, and we have a burning priest and some stuff left on her leg to do. So.
And then the other person was the coins?
Yeah. Eva.
Eva. That one's so dope.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
We got a little bit of work ahead of us, but yeah, it's super fun, and Eva's an awesome person. Everybody in Phoenix and Tempe seem to be super understanding of the weather situation, so 12-12.
12-12.
So that's good. I appreciate it. It's easy to get upset about conditions, you know.
Yeah, luckily the people you surround yourself with aren't really like that.
No, that's very true.
I feel like you have a good group of people that love and support you in whatever you do. And they know you enough to know that you wouldn't bail on them if you wanted to.
No.
And that's like always important to have. If you have people that are stressing you out over stuff like that, it's like...
They're not the kind of people I'd want to surround myself with.
Exactly.
I am super bummed that I didn't get to start
your tattoo?
Yeah, my sleeve and my to get tattooed by Matt Lucas, and everybody up at Platinum Rose Tattoo is fucking fantastic.
Where's Platinum Rose?
Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But everybody at Tooth and Nail Tattoo is super amazing and understanding of my fucking craziness, and let me come and hang out, and they always take care of me. Fucking great family there. Put up with a gypsy like me.
I feel like the more I've traveled, the more I've realized how many like beautiful people there are out there, for sure.
Yeah.
Like just with all the help and everything that I do, and then the love and support I get, even like from afar. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And like I felt that from some people sometimes at cons, just that feeling, but I feel that like a lot more during this whole trip. And I've been friends with a lot of people. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I feel like a lot of people are so scared of the world and scared to ask for help, but it's like there's a lot of people that will help you if you're genuine and you're nice about it, of course.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a balance. I mean, you have to watch yourself. I mean, there's
for sure.
There's people out there that, as much as I don't want to, think about or focus on people with bad intentions.
Right.
And they're out there too.
For sure. And I've come across that unfortunately as well.
Yeah.
But it's definitely,
I think
like I said,
there's more like
you feel it.
Positive
you
people.
You can feel it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned from a lesson kind of similar to finding a group of people that just weren't so good. That it's just, you have to trust your gut. Like sometimes you just know. Like, and it's like signs that you kind of already know from.
Well, if you're paying attention, yeah.
Yeah.
It's there.
For sure. And then there's people that hang out with these kind of people all their life, and it's really strange, but but I guess it's what if you keep developing yourself, you'll figure out the ones who. Because if you're developing yourself and you're setting boundaries of what kind of people you want to allow in, and you kind of make the active choice to be more aware of it, I feel like eventually you can figure out how to like stand your ground a little bit when it comes against those things. Or like even trust your intuition more enough to trust yourself more when it's like that little voice being like, fucking no, or something. It's like, you sure you want to make that stupid mistake?
Yeah. I think I think it takes practice.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, I think it's just always keeping aware of both sides, for sure.
Yeah.
That there are bad things, but if you focus too much on the bad things, you won't realize how many good things there are out there either.
Perspective. You constantly have perspective of people are bad and the world is out to get you. You're always going
The
to
world's
have
against me. Yeah. Well, I get what they're saying, but I'm also like, the world just goes on,
What,
man.
who's saying?
People just go on.
You said you get what they're saying. Who's there? Or they?
The people who are always like the world's against me kind of deal. Because like I could see how things may feel that way for sure. Because it's hard. It's hard to be human. It's hard to be around different kinds of people that you don't quite understand. Or like you don't, and to begin with, you don't really understand yourself most of the time. You think you can, but when growing up and trying to like go through these programs or like going through the environments that you've been through, sometimes it's not as like apparent.
Yeah, I guess. I think one of the first steps is just taking responsibility for oneself.
Right.
And realizing that this is your life. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, I get to meet a really super awesome person on the trip. And I talked to him a lot about, because we had some similar things happen in our lives or whatever. And he's fairly young, but he kind of had that mentality of something happened to him. that he didn't want, and it messed up his plans. You know what I mean? And he was kind of bummed out about it. And I was like, dude, listen, like, I've been through kind of the same situation. Like, it's no big deal. And it's like, but this is your life. Like, okay, so it didn't work out. There's a reason that it didn't work out. You know? Not for me to say for him why it did or didn't or whatever. I was like, but think of it this way, like, now you live that life. You can't necessarily go the route that you wanted to. Now you have the opportunity to do all the other things. And he was, you know, like, well, I'm supposed to do this, and I should do this. And I'm like, why in the fuck are you should and shouldn't yourself? Like, none of this makes any sense. I was like, it's your life. Like, who are these people that telling you that you have to do these things? And, you know, everybody has the construct of parents, or this is just what society expects, and, you know, this and that. And I was like, dude, it's your life. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. Like, just live your life. Enjoy it. If it makes you happy, that's what fucking counts. And for whatever reason, and I hate to sound like a hippie, but I was like, dude, like, maybe this is why I was supposed to show up this day, and I showed up a day early. And he's like, wow, that's great, you know, like, all this stuff. And I basically told him I don't believe in, you know, coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. Synchronicities are, there's something behind it. There's a reason why. Not just, oh, random, whatever. Like, there's a reason I was supposed to show up a little bit early. There's a reason that we met. There's a reason that, you know, he brought something up. And I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly how you feel. I went through the same thing. You know? And I was like, this could be the only reason that I was here in Iowa. Is that. And just leave it at that. And, you know, if you get some, even just feel better for a little bit, or to get you to think in a different way, or see things from a different perspective, then it was all worth it.
I do think taking things bad and trying to see the positive in it is a really good practice, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Find the silver lining, as they say.
Yeah. Like, my father was actually really good at doing that. When we got flooded out like 3 times, he was never really bummed about it. I think the first one he was, but he wasn't really ever bummed about it. He made it playful and jokey. He's like, we'll figure out something. I guess. And it's funny because he'll have moments of that, and then he'll have moments of like, it's gonna be the end of the world if we don't do this one thing. And I'm like, what? Yeah. But it's really funny. But I think it's really important to know that you're still alive and you can still do things. Like, yes, this thing sucks, but maybe it wasn't meant to happen. And maybe this is a lesson. Or maybe it's turning you to the direction that could be a better path for you. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Grass tastes bad.
But I like seeing the silver lining. I think that's a really good thing to live by a little bit.
Yeah, I know for myself, like, because I didn't always see things, you know, in a positive light. You know what I mean? But when I started actually finding the positive, or finding the silver lining in life and situations and all that shit, a lot of stress went kind of the wayside. Like, things started working out a lot easier and a lot better for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
not that like everything worked out perfectly or
Right.
but it helped me not stress about just shit that really didn't matter. I mean, there's moments in my life where it's like it has to be this way, like super not like controlling, but just stuck in my vision of what was right. Once that kind of got flushed away, life got to be a hell of a lot easier.
I feel like we have to go through moments of that a lot. I still feel like it's the change, the new, the order, the hero's journey that cycles round and around. The winter, spring, summer, fall. Like it's all like cycles.
Mm-hmm.
And if you learn enough, you're able to navigate through the cycles easier.
Well, if you're aware of them.
Right.
It definitely helps.
I feel like challenges sometimes pop up in disguises, though. Like it's the same challenge, but it pops up as a different challenge.
Yeah. I think everything is kind of cyclical in that regard, where you get a big lesson in life and then you'll get reminders.
Mm-hmm.
Or some
like
people will
little
call them
testers.
tests or traps or something like that. It's all on your perspective of how you want to look at it, but I like to think of it as a reminder. If you didn't quite remember or learn the lesson, you're going to get caught up in it again and go, oh damn it, but hopefully it's a little bit faster process. You learn it a little bit quicker again and go, oh, I guess I didn't really learn it, and hopefully you learn it that time, and then you'll get another little reminder, and the second and third and the fourth time they don't bother you as much, or you don't fall for the same ploy. Because you're like, yeah, I already learned that, thanks, but no thanks.
Do you think people could learn wrong lessons?
What do you mean?
Like have something happen to them and they're like, oh, nope, not doing that again. But that not be like the full story of things? Like swimming. If your father threw you in the pool when you were a young kid,
mm-hmm.
and it sucked, and then you just like had that stubborn mindset of like, nope, that's just not what I do. I don't want to ever go in the water again.
Oh, like I think if you look at it the wrong way, yeah, sure. Because you can look at it as in like, okay, being taught to swim, like some of the old methods of learning how to swim is just getting thrown into the water and go, okay kid, swim,
Mm-hmm.
You can use that, you find out you dog paddle, yeah, you're a little scared of it, but you then go, oh shit, I swam to shore, cool. And then you're fine with it, you're a little cautious, but it's a little easier to get back in the water and jump in, or you find the fun in it and all that stuff. And then you have the people that are in a different mindset and they get thrown into the water and it traumatizes them, and they're like, I almost died and they're trying to kill me, and then they lose trust for certain people, and they have nightmares of swimming and all that stuff. I think a lot of it has to do with mindset, or knowing the individual before you do that. Like if they're kind of sensitive and not, or already not super trusting, you might not want to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're going to take it pretty harshly. If somebody that's kind of fun-loving and maybe not quick-tempered or whatever, they might get over it a little bit quicker. And oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I think it's case by case.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Like, I have plenty of friends that that method of swimming or learning how to swim would not work at all. At all. Like, you'd lose a friend, gain an enemy is what would happen.
Oh, I know a few people like that too. Like, quick to be like,
Yep.
you're against me.
Yep. But that's, I mean,
Just like everyone else.
yep.
Oh,
Whether
disappointing
you're
me.
a loving family member or not, it wouldn't matter.
Do you think people are just born like that? Like, just a little more sensitive toward things like that? Or do you think that's like a conditioned thing?
I think it could be either or.
I know. I can see that.
It all depends.
It all depends. I always found that very interesting. I definitely was a sensitive kid when I was growing up. Now I think about it.
What's that?
I said I think I was slightly sensitive of the sort when I was younger. I wasn't as stubborn about a lot, but my sisters were pretty stubborn. I know I can get stubborn, but I was always the one that like did things on my own and just tried things.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my sisters, Jade, when she was younger, she had the hardest time trying anything because she just didn't like it. She didn't like anything. She didn't want anything. She didn't like anything. She wouldn't try anything because she like.
Already knew she didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have, my brother was a bit like that when he was younger.
I think it was because she was scared of like failing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember having a conversation with it about now because she refused to try out for anything or to do any like social things. She mentioned once she wanted to play piano, the violin. The piano. How does
The
that work?
piano.
I know, it's
let's,
like a,
let's
it's
pause
a
on that
piano
one.
with strings.
A piano has strings.
I know, I just saw that too.
Okay.
I know. I know.
Moving on.
But she wouldn't play the violin.
Uh-huh.
And now she's the freaking master at it. She eventually gave in and she fell in love with it. And she's just like confident young woman now. It's really amazing to see like the sisters grow up and see how they mature over time or like what kind of person they become.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty neat to see an individual's evolution.
Yeah, because it's never
Sometimes.
one way.
Sometimes.
Just-
Because not everybody evolves. Actually, standing still is kind of actually de-evolve sometimes.
Can be. But I mean, that's his life.
People is de-evolving.
You think humankind is devolving?
What's that?
What do you think is devolving?
This eagle.
The evil?
Eagle.
Eagle.
The eagle. The thing
eagle
that I'm
has
painting.
fallen.
Yeah, the moment Trump got in. Had to say it. Anyhow. I don't know. I think it's more of an individual. I mean, individuals evolve or de-evolve and all that stuff. Groups of people can do the same, I guess.
You think de-evolved? Not
can.
evolved?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I think we could do much more now.
Yeah, we can. think we also can be a lot dumber.
True, but as there are very smart people, there's also very dumb people to balance out.
Mm.
Ah, that's the white.
I think there's a lot of people that are kind of handicapping themselves at this point.
Sure, but I think that just means they just don't really have meaning at the moment.
But that's an individual choice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can have meaning if they so choose. All it takes is to start looking.
Right. But just starting things is hard for most people. But I hope that changes soon. I'm hoping that the internet, along with the many porn sites and overload of ridiculousness, like, there's a lot of motivational stuff in there too, because we are able to access this giant library of mindsets and perspectives. Now, granted, yes, it could go downward.
Just, I mean, case in point, we've talked about it 100 times, and I talked about it all week. We walk around with little computers in our pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything, the world is at our access within seconds. Even if you have a slow connection, it's within minutes. You can find out anything that you want, and yet we still ask, hey, what time does such and such open? You get a fucking computer in your pocket. Look it up.
But it also might just be the connection to that. Just asking people, interacting. Like, maybe we crave that a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not usually the case. The case is like somebody is like, hey, do this for me. Because it's so much easier to ask somebody else than to actually look yourself.
Or, if it's like me, I process things out loud, so I'm like, oh, what time is it? You know?
Yeah, but a lot of times that's not it. People are looking for an answer.
Yeah, why not us?
Why would you ask? You have the capability to find out yourself.
Right.
If you had questions past that or beyond that or wanted to discuss that, I understand that, but
Maybe it's people thinking out loud.
I don't think it's that simple
No, why not?
because I've observed it.
Do you think people are doing it just to get other people to do it? That's what you said?
Yes, yeah.
Why would they want other people to do it?
Because people are lazy. A lot of times, they're just lazy.
I also know some people use that as like a filler of trying to start a conversation, you know? I guess it just depends on whatever.
Those. Yeah, I'm not saying every person is, wanting somebody to do things for them. Just saying, like, we have the capability to find anything that you want. Or at least a good direction to start searching, right? But they don't.
They're just
Even-
not resourceful.
They have the phone in their pocket.
Right. That they look up funny videos on it.
Yes, so
whatever.
they're wasting. Like, you can take something like the internet where you want to learn anything you want. It's there, and what they do is they utilize the internet to jerk off and to play video games. You know what I mean? Like, they're not
Sure.
looking up anything.
But how would they know how to look it up if that's not something they've ever really been in?
If you can't Google, then
Not being able to Google, but
start a revolver. I'm
the
just
fact
saying.
that Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people, because motivational videos are really popular lately. Like, a lot of people that make them, even just,
What the hell does that have to do with being resourceful?
well, it's
Or being non-lazy?
non-lazy. Well, it's just they fall into patterns that are much more consumption rather than learning.
Much more what?
Consumption.
Oh.
Did I
Yeah,
use that
they're
word right?
consumers.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess we do need people that consume things to enjoy things that are being made. And
We all consume things, but I mean, it has. I don't think that it has any bearing on the fact that people are just lazy, where they have the ability to look up anything and better themselves, and they'd rather jerk off with that. You know what I mean? Like, you could be given a robot that follows you around. I mean, essentially, that's what our phones are. Like, if you have it connected to the internet, which most smartphones are, and all that
You're
good
being
stuff.
listened to right now.
That's fine. But like, you basically have a robot with you that knows everything, right? So imagine this man gets a robot, and it has the capability of telling him anything and everything, and all he's doing is going home and having it jerk him off. Because that's what it is. Like, I'm not saying everybody is that way, but it seems like a large portion of people don't utilize, like, the ability to, like, better themselves. They just would rather jerk off with it.
I think that's where it was getting around to now. The point was, like, they surround themselves in this world, and they don't think otherwise. Like, you don't know what else could be out there unless you go out there and see what's up.
Yeah.
And sometimes the internet only reflects, like, our phones are just a reflection of ourselves. It's not going to do the work of finding the better self-improvement video. It has to be something that we question ourselves, and that something on the outside world has to impact us on. Because it's such, like, a non-personal thing that it's just something that we use for our own selves, so it's not gonna tell us to go look for videos that better improve ourselves. In fact, I think YouTube now does this dismissal after an hour thing, which is pretty smart. But what I mean is, they're not going to go out searching for something they don't know they can have if they're surrounded in this environment of whatever. But sometimes, like, little connections can help. I know listening to people helps. But sometimes if we're watching just funny, stupid shit all the time, that's all the things we're thinking about at that time. Did that make any sense? Not at all. Probably not. I'm sorry. But what I meant is, it's the law of attraction. If they're attracted to these certain things, they're not going to see these other things that could be. And so sometimes maybe it's just a slight push of an outside influence or something. Maybe. I don't know. It's very different for every case, for sure. And I get that. But what I mean is, it's not completely their fault. They don't understand that. I know sometimes I forget, too. I'm like, God damn it, I don't know how to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, oh, wait. We got the internet.
Look it up. That's what I'm saying. You have access to everything. And everybody knows that. You can't tell me that somebody's like, what? They got answers for things on the internet?
True. So maybe people are not as dumb as I think then.
Say what?
I don't think people are dumb. But I mean the fact that, like, I don't think as many people are in that just take. Or maybe it's an equal balance. Or maybe it's just a lot of different people. I'm trying to figure out, because we keep saying most people are like that, but is it being lazy, or is it just being distracted, willingly distracted? Or they're just comfortable. They're comfortable with where they're at, and they're okay like that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know all the things. I know enough to know that I know nothing. But, in my opinion, there's a lot of mouth breathers out there. Just throwing that out there. Doesn't mean I don't like them or I don't love them. Fucking mouth breathers.
And it's okay. Well, I mean, I think everybody should find their meaning and purpose to become an adult and responsible, for sure. But that's on them. They'll experience whatever experience they're intended to experience. With all the experience. I made that as a joke because I kept saying experience, my bad. But, what?
Nothing. Just confused.
Sorry, I mean, everyone has their own perspectives and experiences they're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we all have our things.
Because we're all programs. Just living a simulation. Just
Jesus.
But not as cool. In a beautiful way. Like Minecraft.
I'm done talking to you. We're no longer friends. I'm
No.
not talking to you anymore. I'm just checking, making sure you're not breathing through your mouth.
No, I'm not. I'm not a mouth breather. Just a lover. And a painter. And a wizard.
You are no wizard.
No?
You have at least a good 7 years to figure it out now.
That's fine. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm figuring it out. It is who I am.
Alright, you're
so
not
that's
gonna
what I'll build on.
You're gonna figure it out here, that's for sure.
Not gonna figure it out here? Yeah, I mean, we're going away.
Well, I mean, you don't figure it out on your life? On all the journey?
Yeah. One step at a time. We are at 49 minutes. This looks better.
What?
I said me get some yellow. I said Lolo.
That's what I was confused about. Like, what? Would that be cadmium wellow?
Wello.
Would that be blue green wellow? A warm wellow?
A warm wellow.
What?
Ooh, I like what you're doing there. It looks like vibration.
Hmm?
Yeah, it looks like vibration. Like they're all merging within time and they're vibrating to the same frequency and just being prolonged.
Mm-hmm. You? There'll probably be like a pseudo not work intertwining this.
Not work?
Yeah.
Ooh.
My original sketch had kind of the tree of life interwoven with these images, but I don't know. We'll see. As I paint them, it changes a bit. So. We'll see if that works. I like to kind of keep things open to inspiration and happy accidents. Go with the flow, as they say.
For all the Bob Ross moments.
Yeah.
Where did I go? That's right. Shit. I think that was the last part of the line. Ugh. Another white. I wanted to get another black. Whoa, there's this tiny one.
One day you're gonna come back from being away, and I'm just gonna have burnt everything over there.
Burn everything?
Yeah.
You torch them?
Yeah, like either putting it away or something.
You wouldn't torch your own house.
No, I wouldn't torch my own house.
I just come
I'm
here
not a
and
mouth
you'll be
breather.
you should be making marshmallows in the back with a fire. Just all my
The
stuff.
fire of your clutter. I know people that like if their kids don't pick up after themselves, and they leave shit like on the floor or whatever, or don't clean up their rooms, like while they're at school, their parents will go in and pick up everything that they were told to pick up and then throw it away. And you're like, nope, you don't have that anymore. You didn't care enough about it to take care of it and pick it up. It's gone.
I feel like there's a better way to do that. But I don't know.
I don't know. Everybody learns differently.
That is true.
I mean, it's the right way if they actually start doing it then, or picking up after themselves.
Right, but then it's like one of those, I will remember this moment.
Yeah, but they just keep doing it, so it obviously doesn't work.
True that.
Back on our normal schedule for a little bit then.
Yes, yes. And then we will probably be traveling, both of us. For a bit. Well, I mean, I'll be traveling.
You'll be traveling.
Toby will soon start his little thing in a couple months or so. Is that when you're planning?
What?
The 3 weeks here, 3 weeks Phoenix. You're just still not sure.
I was supposed to figure that out when I went down to Phoenix, and that didn't happen because of weather. So hopefully Sunday I will have a better idea of when that all begins.
Get your shit together.
Pot calling the kettle black.
Nah, I just meant the song. I'm getting my shit together. I'm trying to. It's just fun. I feel fairly better about talking with everyone lately. I think it's been nice.
What was that?
So I've been fairly good with trying to communicate a little bit better with trying to plan. I usually wait till last minute. Like a couple days.
Yeah.
And I've learned that's not so good for people or myself.
No, because, I mean...
Is that man turning into a werewolf?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has their own lives and their own things going on. You can't just up and change last minute, usually. Mm-hmm. Most people require quite a bit of advance notice to get anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Gross.
What are you grossing about?
The whole transformations.
No, it's one of the best
No, I know. I concur with that. It just looks painful.
Yeah.
Looks good,
if you
though.
can't see, I've got American Werewolf in London playing. And it's one of the best werewolf transformations, in my opinion. And it's actual.
Whoa.
I mean, this was done in 1980. I don't know. I can't remember the year that it was made. But it's Rick Baker, special effects, and he is
Damn.
fantastic.
It's pretty good, I'll admit.
Yeah.
I dig it. Well,
I'm definitely a fan of practical special effects.
I really like that ghost one you sent me last night, or the one you showed me last night.
Yeah.
Where it was a ghost that looked like loose clothing was all over it. It was like a skeleton with loose
Just
clothing.
like a phantom.
Yeah, phantom of sorts. But the way they made it look flowy was having it underwater with the
green
fabric.
screen behind it.
Yeah, genius.
Yeah. So
Genius.
then they can change the transparency or the transparency on it and overlay it on
to whatever
film. Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah, that's
cool.
how you get the flowy kind of ghost look to a lot of things.
I dig it. It looks like fun too, those sort of projects. Well, we are at our 1 hour mark. You want to cut it from there?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us and being awesome and patient and such. But also that we will be on regular schedule, like we said. And feel free to like us on our Instagrams, the YouTubes, and we also have a paint night Instagram now. So be sure to check that out. Do you have any other? Did you say fuckboys?
Huh?
Sorry, what'd you say?
What did you think I said?
Fuckboys.
What the fuck is fuck always?
I don't know, that's why I asked.
I would never. No, I like oys.
Oys?
Oys.
What's oys?
Like oi boys?
What's an oi boy?
Look it up on
I
your.
think he's fucking.
Look it up on your
Oi boy. I only get. Oh wait, no, just kidding.
OI.
I just kidding.
Yeah, that's oi.
It's spelled O-Y.
Skins represent.
I see.
Boy music. Anyhow, yeah, like and subscribe.
Woo!
And give us a follow
Woo!
on Instagram.
On the
Paint
Instas.
Night Podcast Instagram. Yeah, thumbs up the video if you have a moment, and leave a comment just to let us know if you like what we're doing. If not, if you think something else would be better, let us know. We can change our setup.
We can change. Just kidding.
I mean,
No,
I can't.
I get it.
I can't, but
You can't change.
I'll read it anyhow. Well, I can change. I'm not going to. Not for any of you. Not a single one. But I'll read about it and all your suggestions.
And if I happen to like your idea, I'm not going to admit it, but I'm just going to incorporate it slightly.
Well, I'll respond. I'll totally respond. I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Probably not going to do it.
Nah.
Maybe
Looks
I'll
like
send... If it's a good suggestion, I might send you a print. Who knows? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and...
So, comment and subscribe.
Yeah. Comment. See what you get. Maybe it'll be a print in the mail, or maybe it will be a big fuck you. You don't know. But you'll never know unless you try. So
The worst thing he can do is send you a picture of his butt. But we will see.
it's pretty horrifying.
But thanks for joining, and good night. Ah! Yeah.
That's Paint Night Podcast. Thanks, guys.